Alright, back here with Iron Cross. Man-to-man combats, Eastern Front, 41, 42. This is scenario 3. Yeah, closing the ring. Getting started. This video is probably going to be all about observation. So, all about observation. It is all this stuff needs to be recorded. So right off screen, I've got, okay, I'm coming back. So this tells me German player turn. It's turn 1 because it's in the first spot. I'm using a row of hexes off the side. Well, it's this one, the dotted line, because that's the edge of our play area here. And I have recorded here with number chit that it's the fourth phase. The fourth phase from the turn sequence summary is the reaction movement phase. So what happened was the Soviets wanted to readjust this position here. Basically, it had to do with actually, this is significant. I put the mortar in this hex right here, and actually, and I'll use the example of this. I'll use this hex right here. This is 3607. 3607 is divided roughly in half. It's a hill 1 level here and a ground level or level 0 here. So if there are two, actually I can't remember if they say 2 or multiple, but anyways, if there's more than one level in a hex, the hex is considered at the lower level. So this hex here has just a tiny bit, actually it really is a tiny bit of level 0 ground level in the corner of the hex. So I thought the mortar was up on the hill, actually not up on the hill, which is significant because I wanted the mortar to shoot. I was thinking about shooting the mortar over here, one of these targets, and realized that they were not up on the hill, so I wanted to move it. Moving the mortar here made me decide I wanted to adjust all these guys here. Remember that, so this is the Soviet reaction movement phase, because it's still the German player turn phase. So reaction movement is always limited. It's roughly half, but it has more details such that you have a table and you need it for all the little details. Some of them, so what matters here is that a crew-served weapon, like a crew-served weapon, like the mortar in question here, during the reaction movement phase can only move 1 hex, which is okay. He just wanted to move back here so he can actually get up on the hill. Okay. Now all that movement there made me think that the Germans want to fire or try to fire for the first time, which would be the first shot. After looking at several different options, finally I figured out, I believe, that the German medium machine gun right here, medium machine gun 2, can fire at these guys. I think they can fire after the second soldier moves from here to here. Yeah. So I thought I would try to do opportunity fire. So basic steps here are announce the attack. So medium machine gun 2 conducting opportunity fire during the reaction movement phase here against the Soviets here in this. It's on the hill, but it's still considered level 0. Okay, so yeah, so actually the fact that they're on the hill is irrelevant. So this is considered level terrain for observation, which is, line of sight and observation. So announce the attack next, determine line of sight. What is significant here is this. I stringed the line, and what's relevant is that this hex right here that the line of sight goes through has 1 tree in it. So it doesn't matter that it touches the tree in this case. You do use touching terrain art for the hills and for buildings, if I remember correctly, but not for the trees. This hex with 1 tree in it is an impediment. So basically I think of this tree hex as having maybe more underbrush and foliage around. around the tree itself. Okay, but that's what's relevant. So line of sight is good. Yeah, line of sight is good. So next we do attempt observation. So this is where this is where I rolled 8, and slightly above average 8. I'm trying to get low. Okay, so what's relevant here is that the base number that I'm trying to hit is per the terrain that I'm observing. So this hex that I'm looking into has 2 trees in it. It has 2 tree two tree graphics in it. 2 or more trees in a hex makes a woods hex. So therefore the base number I'm trying to get equal to or less to is 9. And there's a note B, +1 observation dice roll per tree symbol in the target hex and along the loss. So what we do is we go +1 for the tree along the line of sight, +1, +2, 3 for the 2 trees in the target hex. So now we're at +3. That's our modifier, +3 die roll modifier. Then we're going to go to the actual die roll modifiers or the whole list of modifiers for observations. So for every 5 hexes beyond the initial 5, all right, I'll move these aside. So I'm trying to get 9 or less, and I'm already at +3. So I'm already at 8 + 3 is 11. So I need to get a bunch of negative modifiers in my favor. So for every 5 hexes beyond the initial 5, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's +1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for another 5 for +2. Now we're up to +5. All right, it's the wrong direction. We're going in the wrong direction. For each improved position point in the target hex, this is an improved position, by the way, IP2. This is an improved position, IP1. This is the third one here, IP1, but that's not in the hex, so that doesn't apply. For each tree symbol in the target hex, I already added those 2. For each tree symbol or AFV or rec in the hex has along the line of sight, I already added that +1. So those ones are already taken care of. For each marsh hex along that line of sight, we don't have that. If the target, okay, we do have this. If the target, these 2 soldiers here, or yeah, I think we're trying to observe the hex. So if the target is a non-AFV, it is. There are 2 infantry guys in the down state. They are in the down state. They're on their back side. They have their bottom side showing. +1. So we have another modifier. Again, we're going in the wrong direction. Now, this is important too. If the observing unit moved within the last 3 phases, not including the morale phase, this is why, especially since I took a break, this is why I need to record the phase that the movement in this case happened, movement or firing. That's why, because calculating within the last 3 phases applies for both sides at different times during the same player turn, to put it as simply as I can. So this tells me that this unit moved in the previous phase number 3, which is the previous phase immediately prior to this, which was the German movement phase. So that's why. So that's another +2. So we're up to 8. There's no way they're going to get it. I mean, there are modifiers favoring the observer. Let's see real quickly if any apply. You're higher than the target. If the target moved within the last 3 phases, that would actually cancel out the fact that the Germans moved. All right. I think, or maybe it is the within the last 3 phases. Okay, so it would apply. Yeah. So there we are. I don't see any that benefit. Oh, it is a medium machine gun. Well, there we go. Observation not successful.